I've never heard of that song. Oh. Hi, I'm Vina, aka VinaLaMoca, and if you're new, welcome! And if you've been here before, welcome back. It's been a while. Besides being a gamer girl, I love makeup and skincare. Apparently, coquette fashion is in style and my VTuber fits the mold because of the bows. And I got a new PNG, as you can see, as my actual model is getting rigged. Yay! Children are our future. It is a cliche saying, but it is true. Children grow up to be adults. They grow up to be police officers, teachers, lawyers, doctors, and everyone else that makes up a society. But what if teachers, who are the backbone to society, scream from the rooftop that the children are being intellectually and emotionally neglected? Do we hear their cries and come up with a solution? Apparently not, as a collective at least.
These kids can't read. They can't decode. They have no vocabulary, no background knowledge. I've never seen anything like it. For context, for 8 years, I taught a self-contained program for significant language-based learning disabilities. Like, it was the most restrictive environment. It was the step before being sent to a specialized school. And my fifth graders with significant language-based learning disabilities could write better than non-disabled 7th graders can now. They can't write a sentence. They don't know what state they live in. They don't know what region of the country they're in. They have no background knowledge. Most of them don't know who the president is.
That is beyond wild. The kids can't write a sentence. And she's talking about her non-disabled students compared to disabled students she had in the past. They can't write a sentence. They don't know who the president is. And I'm just going to say that these kids are online all the time because mommy and daddy push an iPad on them to like, hey, stop annoying me. I got stuff to do. How do they not know who the president is? It's 2024. Maybe it's because of my FYP, but I keep seeing things about Biden and the Republican hopefuls. It's all over my For You page. I can't escape it. I can't. So they're just probably watching Skibbity Toilet all day, let's be honest. And other stuff like, God, Skibbity Toilet is banned from my house. Because I can't stand it. It's mindless junk, and I like some mindless junk that I like to watch, but that is too mindless. It's too mindless!
They're coming to school with no background knowledge. They have very low skills. And yes, part of my job is to help them find those skills. And as a special education teacher, I'm obviously going to be working with students who require specialized instruction, but I'm not talking about specifically my students. I'm talking about students in the grade, period.
That is very heartbreaking. My goodness. I have a kid. He is in elementary school, and I always worry about how he's placing because I keep hearing there's a literacy problem. I keep hearing everywhere, the statistics, the literacy rating is bombing. It's not good. So I'm always extra worried. I read to him. I have him read to me. I have him write sentences. I do the extra stuff. It takes a while to do. I think, it takes I would say maybe, I like to read to him for 20 minutes to have him read by himself 30 minutes, but we don't do it at the same time. We spread it out throughout the day, or we just choose him to read during a school night. But it's just the little things add up, especially when you have children. The little things add up, and if you need help, because if your student needs help because you don't know how to do something, contact the school. Because a lot of times, schools have a short list of tutors. Some of them cost $20. Some of them are free. I know I have a family member who is a teacher, and she offers free tutoring to her students, which is awesome. But there are solutions out there, and unless you ask, you're not going to know about those solutions. But, like, I also know a lot of parents are working, like, 2, maybe 3 jobs. It's hard, but you can't just expect your kid to learn everything at school and not retain when they come home, because school education is both a parent and a school joint effort. Everyone needs to be involved. It's like all hands on deck. It's a all hands on deck situation. Man.
And this was the case last year. They can't take notes. They can't even attend to a video. They can't even attend to a 3-minute video clip. I can play it. I can tell them what it's going to be about. I can summarize what the video did, and not a single one can tell me what the video was.
They can't even watch a 3-minute video clip. Short form content has warped these children's brains. Oh my goodness. That is scary. Like, imagine, like, someone just going to college, like, Professor, may I have the TLDR of the lecture? Like, no. I don't know any professor who would take that person seriously. Because, oh my goodness. I'm afraid for the future. I really am.
I need to ask millennials, why are your kids so awful? And more importantly, why do you think it's so funny? Your kids cannot read. They cannot write. They are ill-mannered, and they're monsters. I was working my medical receptionist job the other day, and this woman...
She's not entirely wrong, because some kids do not know how to behave in public. And I don't know if parents are afraid of disciplining the kids. Like, someone will see them telling the kid no, and the kid will just throw themselves on the floor and cry and scream, and then people will look at them as a spectacle. I don't know if people are afraid of that or getting reported. I don't know. It's just something needs to change, because, goodness, you can't be afraid of your children. Like, no is not a dirty word. Set boundaries. Your kids have to be a fool in public. Go home. They don't get what they wanted. Cut the day short. Yeah, it sucks for you, but being a parent is not easy. It's not easy.
Walks in. You can tell she's a millennial. She's like 34. She has a yoga mat in one hand and her 4-year-old in the other. Her Satan spawn walked up to the counter, and I was like, hi. And there's a bunch of business cards just stacked up on the counter. You know, it's a medical office. And the kid knocks them all over and starts mixing up all the different business cards on the floor of the office. I look over at her mother, thinking she's gonna see this and be like, oh no, you can't do that. No, she looks up from her phone, looks at her daughter, and starts hysterically laughing and says, isn't she so cute?
Whether it's permissive parenting under the guise of gentle parenting, because gentle parenting still uses consequences. We need a societal change. If my kid acted like that, I would make them clean up the mess and apologize. If they didn't, I would clean it up myself, not film my kid or laugh, because that's not funny. Like I said, if they didn't clean it up, I would clean it up, and they wouldn't get TV time, and they would have to do a handwritten apology letter, and I would make sure they would hand deliver it to the receptionist, of which they disrespected this space. They disrespected the receptionist space. That is, no, that's a no-go. No, it's not funny. This is feral behavior, and it ain't cute. I spent a good chunk of my childhood in a barn, a literal barn. I grew up horseback riding. I was essentially raised in a barn, and I don't act like this. I don't think that thing is cute. Like, jeez Louise.
Ma'am, I have to clean this later. If that were my kid, I would have yelled at it and then cleaned up the mess it made and then made it apologize to the receptionist. And I know.
Again, I don't agree with everything. Okay, I agree with what she's saying, but I don't agree how she's saying it, because don't call a kid an it. That is dehumanizing. It's a tiny person. It's a tiny human. It's not it. I don't like that part. But I understand her frustration, because she shouldn't have to deal with it. It should be an easy thing, like, oh, my kid made a mess, clean it up. Boom, done. But I can't blame her for being this upset. I can't.
Millennials with children are going to hate this because they're the most self-righteous people on the planet, but maybe you should be less concerned about me and more concerned about the fact that your kid cannot read. When I was in 2nd grade, I was getting assigned by my teachers at least 100 to 150 page books, me and my classmates. Your kid cannot read basic words or spell basic words, and you're cool with that. That is crazy to me. If you're not going to teach them how to read, that's fine. You know what? Not my circus, not my monkey.
Again, she has a point. The kids, their literacy rating is going down. My kid, very young, he is reading chapter books while the rest of the kids in his class aren't. He is testing above his grade level. Actually, he's testing like maybe 2 grade levels above, because at the beginning of the year, he was testing 1 grade level above, and he's progressed. But this is scary because people who don't have kids are noticing this. And I'm not talking about like teachers who don't have kids. Like normal people who don't have kids, who don't work in education. They may know a kid or two because of friends and family are noticing this trend. It's gotten that bad.
But at least please teach them some manners. And honestly, millennials, please gain some yourselves, because as someone who has had a lot of jobs in her day, serving you people is genuinely one of the most insufferable things I've ever had to do.
I was raised being told that respect is the baseline. Disrespect is earned. I mean that. I tell that to my own children. Respect is the baseline. And I know some people say, oh, respect is earned. What? Respect is earned? No, because if you're going to be disrespectful, how are people going to know that you deserve it? That's why you have a baseline that respect is the default. Respect is default. Goodness, even on my worst day, if someone was like really disrespecting me, I'd just like blow it off unless the person was becoming harassing, like following me. That's a different story, but the kids are learning this behavior from somewhere. They are. Kids like to mimic behaviors around them. If your kid's acting feral, they learn it somewhere. Either you, a friend, one of their friends, or the internet. Either way, it needs to be addressed inappropriately.
Thank you.
I'm calling out all the parents. If you're a parent and your child is in pre-K to elementary school to high school, I'm calling you out. The children today, I have never experienced, and I'm 22. Having to teach and work with you guys as children has been the most traumatic experience of my life. I teach 5-year-olds ballet. 5-year-old girls ballet. I have a class of 10 students.
The fact that she's saying she's calling out parents and that she teaches ballet is alarming, because I'm just thinking, how bad can these kids be?
They don't respect any authority. You ask them, can you stand in your designated spot? They're telling you no and shut up. They're throwing things at each other. They're throwing things at other people, other classmates. You say, can everybody sit in their spot? I don't want to. I'm not doing that. You don't get to tell me what to do. You're not my mom. You confront the parent. The parent tries to argue with you.
The parents are arguing? Like, I shouldn't be shocked, but I am. Because why would the teacher lie? Like, especially in ballet, because that's like a private institution. You pay tuition, you pay to do the activity. So why would the teacher lie? They would have more of an incentive to not lie and to be honest, or actually they'd have more of an incentive to cover up the bad behavior, so you keep spending your money at the institution. So that's just like, why argue with the teacher? She's telling you your kid is misbehaving. It makes no sense if you think, oh, she's out for my children, she doesn't like them. Like, I doubt that's what's happening, but that's what some people think. That's what some parents think.
And fuss at you because you tried to reprimand and redirect their kid. I told a young little girl, please sit in.
Redirecting children isn't a bad thing. That's how they learn. You're doing something inappropriate. You're talking. You're not listening. You're being disruptive. Redirect a kid. Become one with the group. Because it's ballet. Group activity. Sort of. It's been a while since I did ballet.
In your spot. You're not my mom. You don't tell me what to do. Okay. When her mom came to pick her up, I said, hey, your daughter's having a hard time following instructions. And 7 times today I've had to redirect her to just sit in her spot. Well, clearly she didn't want to sit, and mind you, this is a mom. Clearly she didn't want to fucking sit right there. So, I mean, if she telling you she don't want to do something, why keep asking her to do it? You know she's not going to do it. What world do we live in? Like, what in you guys' brain as a parent says, my kid not following any directions is a great thing. It's not that serious, and y'all don't have a right to tell her what to do. It's sad. It's sad. It's really, really sad. And another thing that's heart-wrenching is horrifying. It is horrifying. Your 5-year-old daughters are asking to listen to Pound Town.
Pound Town? I gotta look this up real quick. I've never heard of that song. Oh, this is highly inappropriate for kids if they want to listen to it.
Your daughters, your 5-year-old daughters are asking, can we hear Pound Town? I'm playing them Princess Tiana ballet music. And they are asking me, can we hear Pound?
So, kids can't read, they can't act right out in public, and now little girls are idolizing Sexy Red. My jaw is to the floor. Social media cannot and should not be raising your kids. And if you're a parent listening to this type of music in front of your kids, you shouldn't be a parent. Listen to inappropriate music when your kids aren't around, or put AirPods in. It's not hard to keep them away from inappropriate music. Goodness, if you don't believe me that Pound Town is inappropriate, look up the lyrics. The whole song is sexual and not meant for kids. And I don't feel comfortable like displaying any of the lyrics on this channel or saying any of the words, or just like, no. Even the more tame parts of the song, no. Goodness, I don't feel comfortable saying any of that song in general. God, my eyes. The most tame part of the song, Pound Town, is I can't say his name because he be cheating. That's like the most tame part of the song. Because when she said Pound Town, I was like, this could either be sexual or it could be like a fight song. The fight song would be like, I don't know. It would be bad, but okay, probably equally as bad. Let's be honest. The whole song's sexual. Kids didn't ask to be born, but you shouldn't be exposing them to adult themes. Like, no, don't expose your kids to adult themes. And if your kid is listening to this crap behind your back, please talk to them about why this stuff isn't appropriate for their age. Kids are influenced by the content that they consume. You don't want influencers and mindless entertainment raising your kids. That should be common sense. But we're so engulfed with technology that we think a kid can do what they want. They'll be protected. Some sketchy stuff goes through the filters. They fall through the cracks. Because I had, like, my kid one time watching YouTube Kids. He went to the bathroom. There was a commercial, and the commercial had F-bombs in it. They were cussing. I'm glad he wasn't there to hear it, because I was shocked. My husband, who was also, because we were like, did we hear that correctly? And we did. Hey, editing Vina here. I didn't realize how long this was until I was editing. Duh! Well, I'm a loudmouth. Because of that, there's going to be a part 2. So leave your comments down below if you agree with me or not, but just be respectful. See you soon.